What's up, everybody? Andrew Mahone here with Tricky Jim at Full Grip Games. We've got some very exciting tabletop gameplay action for you all today, featuring brand new decks from Battle Styles. On my side of the table, I've got Victini VMAX with the Max Victory attack. For a fire and a colorless energy, it does 100 damage plus 120 more damage if the defending Pokemon is a Pokemon V. So it's great for knocking out Pokemon V before they can evolve into Pokemon VMAX, as most Pokemon V have less than 220 HP. And since this attack only costs 2 energy, it's very easy to use on the second turn of the game. We've got a very fast and aggressive, hard-hitting deck here with a turboed out engine. We've got Pokegears in the list, 2 copies of Crobat, 2 copies of Dedenne GX, and we can even afford to play some traditional draw supporters like Research and Marnie, since our main attack only costs 2 energy. Now for Pokemon GX, that Victini VMAX does not hit for heavy damage. We do play Reshiram and Charizard GX in the deck, as well as 2 copies of Heatran GX. After loading up a bunch of energy on a Victini VMAX, you could swing into Heatran GX with the Burning Road ability, moving all of your fire energy to Heatran GX and take huge knockouts with Hot Burn GX. I really like this deck. It's a lot of fun to play. Victini VMAX is quickly becoming one of my favorite new cards out of Battle Styles. My buddy Nick Hunter is going to be playing my Rapid Strike Urshifu VMAX deck. Rapid Strike Urshifu VMAX is also an efficient attacker. Gale Thrust can do 150 damage for just 1 fighting energy, and then G-Max Rapid Flow does 120 damage to 2 of your opponent's Pokemon, and it can be used for just 2 energy attachments thanks to the new Rapid Strike energy from Battle Styles. Now, one of the issues I was running into with this deck is the generally low damage output. It can be tough to finish off targets that you've softened up with Gale Thrust or G-Max Rapid Flow. So in order to help with that, I have included the Gathering of Cats package with Persian and Espurr in the deck. With the Gathering of Cats ability, you can make all of the attacks of your Pokemon with the Catterday attack free of charge. So you could set up Persian, and then you can use Espurr's Ear Kinesis attack for free, which is awesome because once you have swung into a Pokemon with Gale Thrust or G-Max Rapid Flow, Espurr can come in and finish off that Pokemon for free while you either heal your Rapid Strike Urshifu VMAX with a Cheryl, or you build up a Rapid Strike Urshifu VMAX with more energy attachments because maybe you discarded energy with G-Max Rapid Flow. I think this is at least a fun new way to play Rapid Strike Urshifu VMAX, and I'm excited to show off the deck in action. Nick and I played a best of 3 on stream to see which deck would come out on top. If you haven't already, make sure to check out the Twitch channel, twitch.tv/TrickyJim, where I stream live Pokemon trading card game content every single weekday. We've got a super welcoming community over there, and we'd love you to be a part of it. I'm excited to show off the gameplay, but before we do, let's head on over to FullGripGames.com. FullGripGames.com is your one-stop shop for all the best Pokemon trading card game singles and sealed product. It's also the best place to sell your Pokemon cards. If you've got extra cards lying around the house and you're trying to get some cash for them, make sure to check out our buy list. I've got a video here on the buy list page explaining how to submit a buy list to the shop. You just fill out the buy list with the cards you want to sell us, you send us the cards, and we send you the cash or the store credit or a new booster box, whichever you choose. And of course, selling your cards to Full Grip Games directly supports the content that I create here on Tricky Jim. Now, let's check out the tabletop gameplay. Let's see, Nick, would you like heads or tails?
Tails.
Okay. Heads it is.
All right.
So I will go first.
Sounds good.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
We love the hands like that.
Oh,
Wow.
yes.
Wow,
This is something special, guys. This hand here. Oh, man. How do I do it? Beautiful. Okay. And there we go. Crobat V. Are you all good there, Nick?
Yep.
Cool. All right. I will draw for turn. We're chilling. All right, go ahead.
Okay. All right, let's see. I'm going to start. I don't think I need to do a whole lot this turn. Although the lack of a draw supporter is a little concerning. So I may have to go a little aggressive here. I'm going to put Phione in the deck.
Sure. The deck plays 1 Dedenne and 1 Crobat.
Okay.
1 amazing Jirachi, 2/2 Octillery, 2/2 Persian, 2 Espurr, 4/3 Urshifu VMAX.
I think that I unfortunately just have to go for the Dedenne change. Hurts a little bit, but how many bosses order?
3.
3.
And an Eldegoss.
Yes, just so the Eldegoss.
A lot of Pokemon in that deck.
Yeah. A lot of options.
Yes, for sure.
Unfortunately. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna go with Dedenne.
Seems good. Now, what are you having to discard here?
I'm throwing away a couple bosses order, an energy, and a max, and an Espurr, unless I decide to bench the Espurr.
Yeah.
Which I'm not sure.
I think you really only need like 1 Espurr.
Yeah, that's what I've been thinking.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and Dedenne change.
Yep.
All right. So I'm gonna Pokecom the Eldegoss.
Yep.
Go grab a
get the
Urshifu.
Urshifu set up.
Yep.
And then looks like you potentially maybe Crobat there. See if you can find an energy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I'll bench that. I'll attach the air balloon up to Remoraid and Crobat for 4.
Yep.
And we do find the energy. So I'll go ahead, attach, and retreat, and strafe for 60.
Strafe for 60, the relevant strafe.
And I think this hand, I'll promote the Crobat. I would like to keep the Octillery safe if possible.
Right. Yep. Okay. Yeah, I've got certainly a little bit of a dead opening hand, but that's fine because you know what, Victini does recover energy, so we'll Fan of Waves your energy to the bottom of the deck.
Okay.
Which definitely is good for me. Just buy myself a little time, and then we got Professor's Research, discard a hand, draw 7 new cards.
And it is nice with the Victini that you don't have to stress too much over dropping those energy because you can get them all back with the the first attack.
Exactly. It's just not really a huge problem for me. So we do have Victini, and then also just playing Research is not a huge problem either, which is nice because that hand was horrible. So we can just get out of that pretty easily. So I'll use Pokemon Communication, and we're going to communicate a Phione into the deck and go get ourselves another Victini so that I have 2 of these things. And then I don't really want to go anymore. So we're just going to retreat the Crobat into Victini V. And then let's just go Spreading Flames.
Yep.
Cool. And get that energy set up.
All right, sounds good.
Yep.
All right, so we see a Quick Ball. So first I'm going to switch up into the Remoraid. Just give me the option to retreat kind of where I want to. I'm going to Quick Ball away the Marnie. Let's see, looking to get a Meowth down. So grab that.
Right, and then I think, you know, just the threat of the Espurr at some point later in the game, just even if you hit me for 150 damage here, I'm like, cool, that Victini's just gonna go down.
Yeah, and I'm gonna Research.
Yep, and I think that the idea of Cataday, I mean, it really does, all of your math really works with Espurr well. I mean, the 120 works with Espurr, the 150 works with Espurr. Yeah.
And unfortunately, I'm seeing a pretty dead hand here. So it looks like I'm going to bench a Remoraid and retreat into it. And just pass over to you.
All right. I will draw. And I'm just we're just gonna start drawing cards.
Yeah.
Cool. So we're gonna Quick Ball here. Now this particular list does play a very aggressive draw engine. We got 2 Dedenne and 2 Crobat in the list,
as well as a couple of Research. Yeah.
As well as Researches, Gears. We're just a ham deck for sure. So that is.
And you can see that you could see how effective that Fan of Waves was. Getting to push that energy back just meant that you know, I don't get that extra little bit of damage back on the board.
Exactly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, we do not have the let's see, I have Dedenne changed. I could potentially Welder and just get like a huge amount of energy in play, which I think might just be the best idea at this point. So let's, but I don't want to Welder onto something silly. So that's fine. The energy is safe here on this bench Victini. So we're going to Welder 2 more energy.
Okay.
To my bench Victini V and draw 3 cards. Okay. And I do find a Victini VMAX, which is cool. So we can just evolve the Victini VMAX. I think that's totally fine. And you can see at this point how I have so much energy in play that if you bring a VMAX into the active position, I will just Heatran it, you know? So we're just going to max victory here for the KO.
All right. Oh. All right, so we do have an energy, which is great to see. So I'm going to evolve into the Persian and attach to the Urshifu. Now, I do have a research in hand, but unfortunately I also have my last 2 switch and my last Cheryl. So it's going to be quite a costly research if I decide to go that route. But at this point,
I feel like you kind of have to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And Cheryl has the potential to be a great card in this matchup, not being able to Victini VMAX not being able to one-shot the Rapid Strike. Really does mean that gives you a pretty good option. And here are all my Rapid Strike energy.
At least got the VMAX.
Yes.
Good.
So, but I have to account for the 7 energy in play. That is enough for the Heatran to take a massive 1-hit KO. Let's see. Already got the energy attached return. I think. But at the same time, if you just have a boss, you could hard retreat. No, you couldn't hard retreat. You would at least need an air balloon or a switch as well.
Right.
I'm going to evolve, and I think I am going to take the big risk.
I think you have to swing, right? You know?
Yeah, just Gale Thrust for 150.
And then you just see where it goes. You know, at the very least, you could, even if I do respond, you could still knock out the Victini with an Espurr while you set up a new Urshifu the following turn.
Correct.
So it's like, it's not totally a waste. And then, you know, you could clean up 3 here, 2 here. That's like, you know.
That's a fair chunk of the game.
Exactly, exactly. All right, let's draw for turn. And I do have Cherish Ball here, so I'm going to go get myself the Heatran. We know what time it is.
Heat dog time.
Yes, absolutely. So grab Heatran, and then I'll also quick ball away the Reshiram. This is one card I have not used in this deck one time, is Reshiram Charizard GX. I have only used Heatran. As I've been testing, I've just been using Heatran. It just seems like the more versatile card.
Yeah.
Being able to pile energy on Victinis and then, you know, swing it all over to Heatran.
Is there a specific matchup that you kind of have in mind for the Reshiram Charizard?
I think just generally having another Pokemon that can kind of swing into tag teams and stuff just seemed good. So we're going to gear first. See what we find. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. We do find a boss, but I don't. I don't think I want to. I can boss the Crobat and take, you know, 2 more prize cards. I think I have bigger aspirations than that. So I think I would like a research, or, you know, or we're just going to data change and see what we find. So we're going to gear one more time. Say 4, 5, 6, 7. We find the boss again. I mean, you see how the gears with the 4 boss. I mean, you just always have access to boss in this deck. So like if I want to take 2 prizes this turn, I just can. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which actually might not be a horrible idea because I could bench Heatran, boss the Crobat, take 2 prizes, Day change, and then potentially... Because if I Day change right now, I would have to find a switch in order to take the knockout, which is not guaranteed. I think I'll just hold on it, and then if I find the boss after the Day change, then I'll take the boss knockout on the Crobat. But then if I, that way I'll leave my options open and not pigeonhole myself.
Right.
Into what we're going to see here after the Day change. So we're going to bench the Heatran, and then Day change, and you can see how much of a turboed out list this is for sure. 1, 3, 4. Oh, 5, 6. Oh, yes. Okay. So this is fine. This is why we made this play, so that then we can
you have that option
just
either way, yeah.
Boss here. We didn't get an energy drop, unfortunately.
Sticking with only 7 on board.
Yeah, so we will max victory there and take that knockout.
For the Persian. And we finally see the Octillery. Now, I do have another downside to one of the new cards, Korrina's Focus. I have it in my hand. I could draw a couple cards, but with 4 energy in hand, a little stuck. Can't really do a whole lot. So I will attach the Rapid Strike Energy there.
At least you can Rapid Strike Search, though.
Yes, Rapid Strike Search for... Let's see. Looks like I'm just going to grab another Urshifu. Yeah. And one thing I'm feeling right now, and I guess it doesn't matter now that you've evolved into the Victini VMAX, but that Victini V was sitting on the bench with 5 energy on it, and I literally had no way to deal with that Victini in one turn. Not having the damage cap kind of low for this deck means that you don't get to have as many of those turns where you just take big one-hit knockouts, unfortunately.
Right, exactly. Like, I knew it was safe. Right.
I'm going to attach Air Balloon there, and I will Korrina's Focus for 3.
Yep. There's just 2 Korrina's Focus in the list. They're just there for Octillery.
Yeah, and that totally makes sense.
Yep. Still got 3 Marnie and 4 Research in there.
So, let's see, what can I do this turn? So I can for sure take 2 prizes. Unfortunately, if he has a Welder or a Switch, that is game over, because he could just come up with the Heatran, taking all the energy, and Heatran GX for game. So, bringing in the Rapid Strike Urshifu seems like a pretty big risk.
Right. It's unfortunate, just not having that way to do 310.
Yeah.
Is very brutal.
Right. And that's possibly where the single strike Urshifu is the better archetype, is taking those big, massive one-turn swings. I'm thinking that I might just have to pass. Bringing up it feels really bad not to get any pressure on the board with Urshifu, but that is absolutely game if I don't do so.
Right, if you bring up the VMAX and you ping my Crobat, you open up a bench spot, and then I can just retreat into Heatran, game over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that I have to take the really bad play and just pass over to you, unfortunately.
Right. So, I will draw, and that is unfortunate. At this point, I think I'm totally okay just to Marnie. And then I kind of want to just leave the Victini VMAX in the active. And that way I know you have a more difficult time taking that KO. So I guess something that she could have done last turn is that I think if I were you, I might have used Strafe instead of passing. Because
I had already attached.
Yeah.
So,
but like if you would,
I could have attached there. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Strafe would have been really good. So yeah, we'll just go in with max victory and take the knockout on the Persian, 100 damage.
And now, of course, I have the Phione Espurr combo in hand after you knock out the Persian.
Right.
So let's see. I'm going to go ahead and Rapid Strike Search. See what I got going on. Not a whole lot, unfortunately. Yeah, I'm going to grab VMAX.
Sounds good.
Let me check something in here. Okay, that's good. Kind of just trying to play to my outs at this point. I'll attach a stone energy down there. I'm going to Pokecom Espurr.
Yep.
For the Eldegoss. And I'm actually going to use it to grab boss up the Heatran.
Okay.
Yep. And then retreat here. And I'm going to Rapid Flow.
Okay.
120 to the Heatran and knock out the Crobat.
Sounds good. All right. So we got your 2 prizes there. And then I'll just draw for turn. And I have Escape Route.
Okay.
So go into Victini. And then we can boss up Dedenne.
And
then retreat. And Hot Burn GX.
For a whole lot of damage.
Yeah,
Yes. For enough.
Enough. All right.
Man.
You want to give that another spin?
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
I'll go ahead and go first again.
Sounds good.
All right. Let's see. We can get a pretty good turn going here. I'm going to start with a Pokemon Communication. Put the Rapid Strike Urshifu back in the deck.
Yep.
And we will go grab... Start with the Remoraid. So a couple quick balls, but it looks like, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and the Soul Hand is going to be parsed down. So quick ball away, quick ball. We'll grab the Urshifu.
Looking good.
So I have an air balloon in hand, and on one hand I can attach it to the Meowth, but it's going to get free retreat when it evolves.
Right.
So I'm thinking I might just go ahead and attach it to the Remoraid. Make sure that, I have more retreating options. Something you just always need with this deck. So yeah, go ahead, attach it down there. Rapid Strike Energy to the Urshifu, and Day Change.
Looking solid so far.
Yep. And...
Good looking hand.
Pass over to you.
Draw for turn. Okay, now we've got our Volcanion start here. Only play 1 Volcanion in the deck, but always nice to see him in the opening hand. So we're going to Pokemon Communication. Now, something interesting about my list is that I don't play any energy recovery. I don't think you really need it.
Oh, no. 11 energy for,
A 2 energy attack?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, you can, and then you have 7 Pokemon in the deck that bring energy back from the discard pile.
Yeah.
You
just don't.
So it's just not as big of a necessity to play energy recovery in a list like this, I don't think.
And honestly, I with the Welder, it's good, and especially the Heatran. It's good to have that high count, but you could probably shave an energy or 2 off if you were looking to fit something else in the deck.
Yeah, for sure. I'm going to quick ball away a fire energy.
Yep.
And let's see, at this point, I think I just want to get a couple of Victini, set up. And then we have the research. I think since I opened the Volcanion, I'm just going to lean into that. We can just research, draw some cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Feels good. And then we're just going to use Flare Starter to go get some fire energy out of the deck and onto our benched Victini. Not a lot of energy left in the deck, but we're chilling. Yeah.
Alright, I will draw a turn. Alright, let's see. What am I going to do here? Alright, so I can evolve into the Urshifu VMAX. I'm going to drop an air balloon there. Switch into the Remoraid. And I do have another Meowth in hand, but I really don't think I want to bench that.
Right.
I'd rather have it in my hand as an option for Pokecom. So I'm going to Korrina's Focus for 3.
I think that makes sense.
Yep. And I think I'm just going to put on a little pressure. Just retreat. Go ahead and Gale Thrust. Sorry, this is the Japanese copy.
Yeah.
So Gale Thrust.
Is Gale Thrust for knockout. Good stuff. Okay. So we're going to promote the Victini V. And I unfortunately cannot accelerate to a 7 energy board right now to knock out your Rapid Strike Urshifu VMAX. So we've got decisions to make. I think that I want to just go here, and I will. It's kind of a yeah, we're fine. I'm gonna put the air balloon down, and I think I'm going to boss your Remoraid.
Okay.
And just energy burst for knockout.
Yeah. So I will promote the Dedenne. Do that. Let's see. So I have the rapid strike energy in hand. But if I want to go with the rapid flow, that means discarding 2 of my 4 rapid strike energy. But I think
sometimes that's the play, though.
Yeah, putting that much pressure on the board really does feel good at this point.
You really don't need, especially with the Espurr who attacks for free.
Yeah.
You know, you can finish one of these. One of these turns into a VMAX, so you can finish it off for 3 prizes for free.
So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then I'm going to Marnie.
It also opens you up to a Cheryl play.
Yes.
So I think that just makes sense.
Yeah, this game, even with kind of the minimal board position, feeling a lot better about things, just having Urshifu down or attacking right away. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and bench another Urshifu.
Yep.
And then, I'm just going to retreat. And GMAX Rapid Flow.
Yep.
120 on both of them.
That is just a ton of damage there, for sure. Now, the reason why I went for just the minimal boss play last turn is because I had the Welder into Heatran GX 1-hit KO the following turn. I already had it in my hand.
Makes sense.
I was like, all right, but I need one more energy drop. So I was like, I'll go energy drop.
And then
the following turn, so that was definitely good.
Yeah, the Marnie felt like a really good play that turn.
Good Marnie for sure. I think that I just want to the other 120. Yep. Cool. Evolve here. And this is just what's so insane to me about this deck is that we just go, oh yeah, boom, yeah, just goodbye. And it's gone. Yeah, it just vanquishes Pokemon V, and we'll just.
If it wasn't clear what happened, he just hits for 220, and it's gone.
And it's gone.
And it's gone.
Yep, and it's gone. Yep.
All right, let's see. I'm going to.
It's insane. Like you Marnied me into a pretty garbage hand, but there was at least a boss in it. Yeah. So.
All right, so I'm going to, let's see, Quick Ball, I think. Yeah, Quick Ball I'll Quick Ball the basic. No, I'll Quick Ball the Rapid Strike. I'm actually going to switch these out so I can read it. Grab the Espurr.
Yep. Things are starting to look a little scary here because if you can push my Victini, take a knockout. I mean, now we're starting to see the synergy between the two, right?
Oh, it's nutty, yeah.
Yeah. The ability to set up both these guys. And now the fact that you can build up, and this is what I love about the combo. You could build up your Rapid Strike Urshifu while you take a free knockout with Espurr, theoretically. So
5 and 6. Oof. Unfortunately, I did miss the hit on the Persian.
Yes.
But what's kind of cool here is I can use the Phione as essentially a boss's order.
Right.
So I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to Whirlpool Suction the other Victini up.
Okay.
And then I will, Gale Thrust for knockout.
Yeah. Now, I considered evolving that into a VMAX. I kind of had a dead hand, though, and didn't, which, you know, I may be getting punished for now. I've only got 2 energy in play, and at this point, you know, if I get this thing knocked out via the Persian Espurr combo, but I guess if I bench nothing else, then it's not possible for you to do that.
Indeed.
Which is true. So let's see what we can do then. Right, because you can't hit me if I don't bench anything else. Let's escape rope and see who you push up.
This is one of the biggest feels bad about the Victini VMAX deck is you don't get to take the one-shots on the Dedenne on its own.
Right. All right, and I'm going to Welder 1 energy to my Victini VMAX and draw 1, 2, 3 cards. Okay. And I guess I just have, Quick Ball away my Victini VMAX. And this is a risk. It is a risk, but I think it makes sense. Put Giant Hearth in play.
Yep.
Discard Marnie. 2 fire out of the deck. And then attach to Heatran.
Yeah.
Retreat. Use Burning Road. And we'll hot burn GX for knockout.
Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and promote the Espurr. And then I just have the Persian in hand to Ear Kinesis for knockout.
And that's game.
Yep.
Oh, man. That is crazy.
Yeah.
It worked.
Yeah.
It worked. Oh,
Woo.
yes. Let's go. It worked, guys. It worked. I knew it. I knew it could work.
And, you know, I got to thinking when, so if you hadn't benched the Heatran, all I have to do really is just Gale Thrust twice.
Well, that's why I did it.
Yeah.
Right.
You
Because
had, to do something.
I didn't have enough energy in play to knock out your Urshifu VMAX.
Yeah. And I even had the Cheryl in hand, so if you did take a swing, all I had to do was, you know, heal it off and attach another energy.
Exactly. Yes, the Cheryl would have been gnarly there. If I did just swing into your Urshifu, you'd have been like, yeah, that's not a problem at all. Yeah. I'm going to attach energy to my Victini. Put Giant Hearth in play.
Okay.
And past you.
Sounds good. Okay, and I am just going to Marnie. Okay. Unfortunately. Just had a handful of supporters. Got bosses and Cheryls.
My hand was juiced. I was going to go Victini.
Yeah.
Dig for boss. But I'm still feeling pretty good. I mean, really, Victini...
That's all you want to do.
This is all you want to do turn 1. Just a Victini V energy drop. I know I'm going to be putting forth potentially some pressure this next turn.
Yeah. So let's see. I'm going to put down Urshifu. And then... I think I actually want to Quick Ball away the communication. Just keep that Octillery in hand.
Yep.
Grab the Crobat.
Yo, thank you so much, Tom and Moon Yuyan, for those subs. Appreciate you guys. Thank you guys so much for the support.
All right, let's see. So that goes to the hand. I will attach to Urshifu and Crobat for 5.
Seems good.
And 6. Okay. Trying to think if there's anything else I really want to get down this turn. So you can take the knockout on the Remoraid. So strongly considering putting the second one down, but I'm not sure I want to clog up my bench. I'm going to...
Right, this deck is pretty bench hungry.
Yes. Get down the Meowth, and let's see. I'm thinking I might just strafe back into the Remoraid if I have that.
30 damage is very relevant because you do 150 and 150. So being able to, 30 plus 150 plus 150, get that 210 or that 310.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm going to put that on the Remoraid and just strafe and retreat back into the Remoraid.
Sounds good. All right, we'll draw for turn. And we've got a pretty loaded hand here, so we do like to see that. Honestly, we've got the energy, but, all we want is Victini VMAX boss. Yup, and just
punish me real hard.
Do what this deck is built to do on turn 2. So we're going to bench Heatran, I believe. I'm going to use the... Well, I'm going to bench Jirachi as well. I think, yeah, that's fine. And we're going to Crobat for 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So, there's not too much here that I want. We're going to Cherish Ball. And I don't think that there's anything in the deck that I necessarily want to thin out. So we'll fail the Cherish Ball. And then I have Air Balloon, which I will attach to my Jirachi. And let's just Day change.
Okay.
Discard our hands, see 6 new cards.
There goes that Charizard again.
2, 3. Don't need it. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. 4, 5, 6. Victini VMAX.
You sound quite triumphant.
Boss's orders.
Yep.
Yes.
You play 4 in that deck, right?
Absolutely.
Yep.
And 3 gears. Yeah. And then we'll max victory there for the turn 2 Gust KO.
Jeez Louise. All right. Let's see what I can do this turn. So it's kind of cool. So I can go the Octillery and use Rapid Strike Search to grab a Korrina. Lets me, get a free draw support.
Exactly.
It's not the best draw supporter in the game by any means, but, just having that option at any point in the game, as long as you have an Octillery out, feels good.
Absolutely. And that's, this deck, in a VMAX world, I think Victini VMAX is just going to be, in a VMAX world, I think Victini VMAX is going to just be, such a nice, aggressive deck.
A lot of search in this hand. And at this point, I'm just, terrified to, put down an Urshifu, but I have to. It's like it's really the only way I can get a lot of damage down on the board.
Right.
So, let's see. I'll start with Pokegear, put Remoraid back in the deck. And I guess just kind of pray that you don't have a boss, which is highly unlikely. I believe I'm going to go back in the deck.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I'm going to quick ball away another com. And
the crazy thing about the Victini VMAX deck is it can just take that, early momentum from if you just get that quick boss's orders, then if you do it again, then then the VMAXs just never get to come into play, which can just end a game before it gets started.
Yeah. So I actually do have. I'm going to bench that. I have Stone Energy, which actually disrupts the math.
It does.
But you do have that Fan of Waves that could potentially push it out.
Right.
So I'm going to go ahead and just strafe into the Victini.
Okay.
Or the Jirachi.
Or the Jirachi. Cool.
Strafe into the Victini from the Jirachi. Sorry, confused myself there.
Cool. Okay, so I'm going to use Giant Hearth, and we're going to discard our research and just get 2 fire energies out of the deck. And I have a gear in my hand, and we're just in a good situation. If we can boss up the Crobat, it's great. You know, if I hit Welder off this gear, cool. I'll do either of those and feel good about it.
Yeah.
So we're just going to, ooh, we can even switch, which is pretty neat as well, because I can dig 8 cards instead of 7 off of the Jirachi. So I think that we'll do that. Go into the Jirachi, and then Dreamy Revelation. We do find Welder. Okay. So we can take that. Now, do I want to Welder this turn? I think that using Welder this turn is fine. I could ramp to 5 energy in play. I know that you will not be able to KO me. If you leave your Rapid Strike Urshifu in the active, I will be able to potentially just retreat into Heatran and knock it out. So that's pretty good. And I think that might just be better than aggressing on the Crobat, because if I aggress on the Crobat with Boss, then you evolve into VMAX, and I don't have an easy way to knock that out.
Right.
So I think the math is better if we just do it this way. So I will bench the Victini V, and we're just going to Welder onto that Victini V and draw 3 cards. And then I can attach another energy. Like, I know this Victini VMAX is safe. I know this thing is safe as well. Attach another energy here. And I guess, yeah, that's fine. Just retreat. So 5 energy now. 2 energy next turn. And we can take the knockout. So I'll max victory for KO there.
Alrighty. I will drop turn. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and Rapid Strike Search. Grab, if it's in here, another Korrina's Focus.
Yeah, the search ability of Korrina's Focus, like, it might not be the best draw supporter in the world, but in a pinch, yeah, I'll take it, you know. I mean, how many times have you asked yourself, man, I would love to just be able to just go grab a draw 6 out of that, you know. It's definitely a solid card.
Right. And I'm actually going to Hearth away Cheryl.
Okay.
Just to thin out my hand a little more.
So that you can draw an extra off of Korrina.
Yep.
Makes sense.
And Korrina's Focus for 5. Alright. Now I know if you have the Welder in hand, you do have the knockout on the VMAX, unfortunately. So I think what I'm gonna do, I'll attach there. I could have Catterday this turn if I really wanted to, but I don't think that's the right move.
Right, just 120 to the VMAX. And it does set you up for a later knockout.
Yeah. I only have 2 energy, so I can only Gale Thrust. I can't use the Rapid Flow attack.
Oh, I thought you're talking about you could have ear kinesis.
Oh, I meant Catterday.
You meant Catterday. Got it. Okay. Yeah, you meant actually
just to Catterday, yeah. Let's see. It's quite likely you have the play in hand, and that'll be game. I think I'm actually just gonna strafe into the Espurr.
Okay. Now, by not putting that VMAX into player in the active, you have taken away a win condition of mine, which is unfortunate, but probably the heads up play. So I'm gonna Giant Hearth away at Giant Hearth, get a couple fire energy out of the deck, and see what we can do. Okay, so right now I can see Quick Ball 2 if I want to. I think at this point we Quick Ball away the Marnie. See if we can't just thin the deck a little bit more. If you do take a knockout, I suppose I would probably want a Dedenne in my hand. It does feel good to play a deck with just so many draw cards in it and such an aggressive draw engine. I never feel like I'm really dead drawing with this deck. And then we're going to escape route.
Okay.
Into the Dreamy Revelation Jirachi. And what's so sick about Dreamy Revelation Jirachi is that once you get that air balloon on it, it's just the pivot card for the rest of the game.
Yep.
You know, you don't need to find scoop up nets. You don't need to find any of that. You're just going in there and it just gives you that extra dig time and time again, which is really cool. So we'll go Dreamy Revelation, and I think I'll take the quick ball, and then I can thin the deck even more. Just quick ball away the Dedenne. Go get ourselves a Crobat out of the deck. And that way I'm reordering the deck again. And then you see I don't even play Eldegoss in the deck right now.
You just don't.
There's no bench space, really.
Yeah.
I was just like,
You don't have the room, and you don't really want it.
You don't need it if you just, 4 boss, 4 gears, or 3 gears, you're fine. You just keep digging. So I've already Dreamy Revelation, so I'll start using Pokegear now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Cool. So we'll grab Welder. And then I'll get to gear one more time. And if I find a boss, I will just bring up the Urshifu and then just hot burn it. Which would be fine with me. So we're going to gear again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we find research. No boss.
Okay.
Which is fine. So you live another turn.
One more turn.
Yes. So that is cool. We will attach to, or I guess I'm weldering. Yeah, that's what I'm. Cool. We'll welder 2 onto the Heatran GX. Draw 3 cards. I didn't play a supporter. And then I will, I believe just, oh, this is kind of gnarly. Yeah, just retreat.
Yeah.
And I can just put all this energy onto Heatran.
And there's nothing I can do about that.
And I just know you can't knock it out.
Yep.
And then I'll just Steaming Stomp. Maybe that's an all-in play, but
there's not a whole lot I can do, though.
I mean, what could you possibly do about this?
It honestly takes away the best play I had, which was to boss up the Heatran before he could use the ability. And there's the Persian. Right on time.
So it's like you can't leave your 2 prizer active or your 3 prizer active.
Yeah. Gonna do that. At this point now, it's just extra padding to have it evolved into the VMAX. And I'm gonna Marnie.
Okay.
Playing this matchup, Heatran, it's just the deciding factor. I think this is actually a pretty even to kind of poor matchup for Victini without it, especially with this deck playing Cheryl.
Yeah.
But having the Heatran there, just
that's what I'm saying. Is like I feel like Victini VMAX gets the best of both worlds.
Yeah. You
get to one-hit KO like Scorch with your Heatran, and then you get to be this fast kind of Tempozard like deck as well. You can play like Tempozard. You can play like Scorch with the Heatrans. It just feels like you kind of have all of the best options available to you. You don't need to play Welder if you don't want to. You can boss, unlike Scorch. We play 4 boss. We boss all the time with this deck. Scorch almost never gets to boss. Maybe once a game. This deck can realistically boss turn 2, turn 3, and just kind of snowball from there. Really pick apart your opponent's board position.
Right. So unfortunately, I don't really have much I can do. If I sit and pass, he just takes another knockout and just one more turn till the inevitable. So, it's kind of conceding, but I'm going to go ahead and do the just hit Gale Thrust for 150. Doesn't really matter.
Good. Yep. And then I do believe I need one more energy, but I have it.
Yeah, you had the Hearth out.
Yeah, to Hot Burn GX for game, and I have Boss's Orders as well in the Crobat.
Yeah, I figured.
Yes, but definitely GG's there,
Yep,
Nick.
of
Well,
course.
I was excited to see the Catterday package work at least one game, you know?
Yeah.
And I think it did what it was supposed to do, but I think, like, the problem that keeps rearing its head with Urshifu VMAX is that its damage output against VMAX Pokemon is just so low.
Right.
And if it can get one-hit KO'd, I mean, there's 2 Cheryl on the list, but, I mean, I was not interested in 2-hit KOing, though. I don't think that I didn't 2-hit KO a single Urshifu VMAX.
No, it went from 0 damage to dead.
That was
Twice.
it. Yeah, it was
And
it.
that's all we did.
I just we just 1-hit KO'd it every single time. Yo, thank you, Jesse, for that sub. Appreciate you, man. Exactly. So we didn't even get to see Cheryl be effective because fire is just so insane right now. And I think as long as Welder exists, fire is going to continue to just be a completely bonkers archetype. I think it'll calm down a little bit, still be good, still be playable after Welder rotates, but as long as Welder exists, I think that fire is just it's just going to be up there in the rankings for sure.
Yeah. And I was thinking too, maybe this deck could play copy of Empoleon V.
It could
with the Rapid Strike, but it's got a 130 damage cap itself. It does well. It can take AR of Heatrans. It can one-shot Heatran and Victini, but
takes 2 energy attachments.
Takes 2 energy attachments.
I play Fan.
Yeah, you play the Fan. Takes 2 energy. It's really bad in pretty much any other matchup. And in that deck, the only thing it's shutting off is Dreamer Revelation. Doesn't shut off the Dedenne or Crobat, so doesn't even feel good just to start it and let it sit there.
Yeah, exactly,
So,
exactly. Honestly, Victini VMAX is just my
thumbs up.
favorite new deck out of battle styles. I think that Victini VMAX has certainly got some potential. Even if you just compare it to the compare it to like Tempozard or whatever, I feel like it's pretty comparable to the Tempozard deck and kind of has some similar things going to it. Tempozard playing a lot of Cramorants to do its kind of early snipe, and Blacephalon to do its kind of late game sweeping.
Yeah.
Where this deck, you just play Victini VMAX and bosses to do your early sniping, and then you play Heatran to do your late game sweeping. So I think that it's got and then when GXs are gone, it's fine. You lose Heatran. But then the only 2 prize Pokemon are all Pokemon V.
Yeah.
And then Victini is just doing 220 to everything.
I can only think of like 2 Pokemon off the top of my head that don't get knocked out by that. That's Zamazenta, only because of its ability.
Right.
And Rhyperior, which is not exactly the most playable Pokemon V at the moment.
Exactly. Now, of course, not knocking out Dedenne GX is tough.
Yeah.
But we play 2 Heatran in the list, and we play a Reshizard in the list. We didn't really see the Reshizard come out in this matchup, but against ADP, you can go turn 1 Reshizard, and you're going to double his GX for 200 damage. That knocks out Dedennes, knocks out Crobats, knocks out Zacians. So you can just lead with that Reshizard if you want to in that matchup to knock out Dedennes and things like that. So there certainly are options to do that. I did try last night when I was testing. I tried putting in Mewtwo and Mew GX. I tried putting in Charizard GX. I was like, what? You can... I never used it.
Yeah.
You just didn't need to. You're just better off going in and just slamming with Heatran turn 1, slamming with Reshizard turn 1. You don't need Mewtwo. You don't need all that cute stuff. Just play the aggro fire deck and just do what it does best.
Yes.
Is just is what I felt like you just needed to do. And that way you could beat ADP. That way, if you slam into an ADP turn 1 for 200 damage, they're not super stoked about that.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah, exactly. And you could escape. There's so many times, I tested against ADP. They open Zacian going first or something like that. Intrepid Store with the Zacian active. I mean, how many times did they Intrepid Store with the Zacian active? Happens all the time. You go in, 2 prizes turn 1.
Yeah.
Boss turn 2. It's looking kind of rough.
Yeah.
But anyways, Nick, I know you got to get to work, so thank you so much for joining us for the stream today.
Of course.
And thank you guys all for watching. Thank you to everybody who put in pre-orders for Battle Style Singles at Full Grip Games. All those pre-orders are shipped out as of this week. We've got a very exciting stream ahead on Thursday. We're going to be streaming 10 hours for the set release of Battle Styles on the Pokemon Trading Card Game Online, and we're going to be giving away 2 Battle Styles booster boxes on stream. So definitely make sure to check back on Thursday. Tomorrow, tomorrow's up in the air. I'm not sure I'm streaming tomorrow, but I'm not sure what I'm doing. So tomorrow's a mystery day. We'll figure out what I'm doing tomorrow. And then Thursday, we definitely have the Battle Styles 10-hour set drop double booster box giveaway. So
sounds like a lot of fun.
Yo, thank you, Tom, for those 100 bits. Thanks again, Nick, for joining us. And you guys all take it easy and have a busted day. We're going to be getting out of here. You guys, yeah, you guys have a good one.